Hello. Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. It's going to be a different kind of reading today. I'm Violet, and that's Rose. Welcome to my bedroom. Why I'm getting ready and trying to do a reading at the same time, I don't know, especially since it's a snow day outside and there's like a foot of snow. So let's just go with the flow. I'm going to figure out the multitasking as I go. I might have to do like a time lapse or something when I get to the mascara because that would be really weird to talk. And I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Maybe there's something about coming on in barefaced or a transition. Let's see. This is a timeless reading, so whenever it finds you, it's perfect. See what feels like it resonates and twinkles, and trust your discernment, that direct connection you have to your higher self, God, source, the universe is. Because the answer it's in you. It's always in you. And try to make balanced decisions based in love so we can all help uplift each other in love. What kind of ticket do you have to buy? Is it a plane ticket, a subway ticket, a movie ticket, a lotto ticket? That's the ticket? Is that like a phrase? That's the ticket? Ooh, let's see. Let's just get a couple from the mystery deck, and then I'll figure out the multitasking part. Interesting that I have... We want to see what this one is. Interesting that I'm going to be putting on makeup, and this is a clown mask here. So hopefully when I put my makeup on, I'm not going to make myself look like a clown. I might make myself into an ass. So, I am such a dork. All right, let's continue. Maybe there is something that is being masked. Maybe somebody is being an ass. I always feel like this is so weird. Like when somebody is like an ass, it's the ass that owns up to it, that I kind of respect, than the one that has no idea of their behavior. Maybe that's important. Maybe somebody's covering something up a little too much. I see, that smile that's hiding something underneath. So let's get a couple more just here. So I don't even know where I'm going to put the cards. We're going to figure it out. So let's get one more from this pile, and I have two more piles because this message just continuously comes through lately for you guys. Have you not cut the strings yet? Did you lose your scissors? Edward Scissorhand / Abraham Lincoln is here to help you out. It looks like also these strings, it looks like one of those curtains from like the 60s or the 70s with the beads. So maybe there is something about these strings are blocking a door of progress or a door to transition. Maybe somebody feels like going through a portal, or something is going to make a lot of noise. Maybe cutting the strings gets rid of the I'm getting like the chatter, or I don't know why I hear background noise. But I feel like there's something that's like, you can't quite distinguish what's going on, kind of like if there's a crowd. You're not like honing in on any particular conversation, it just feels like noise. Maybe it's hearing yourself think. Let's see. Let's get, how many do I have? I have 3 from that, so let's get 3 more from this, and I have 1 more. So 3 more, and we'll use you're only at the pregame. I did not go fancy with my letters on this one, so don't judge my my handwriting. So there's something where you haven't stepped through the door yet. They're just playing those, I'm getting those really annoying commercials. Yeah, maybe you need to mute something. Or, I don't know, I just think of like not that I'm promoting YouTube here, but I absolutely have the package where I don't have to watch the commercials. Totally worth it. But commercials tend to bother me. I mean, I haven't even turned my TV on technically in a couple of years, so I guess I don't really like television either. So maybe there's something about the programming or being in meditation. Music. Let's see. Words with action is really important. Maybe that's has something to do with strings you are cutting. If there are a lot of words but no actions that match, maybe you're stepping through the doorway or heading towards where it's an equal like playing field, because now I'm getting more of a scrimmage match. Somebody actually on your team, but not against you. Just as strong, but like a support system, like somebody that'll, put on the different jersey color to practice something with you, but you're actually working together. Let's get one more from here, and then I guess I'll try to start the multitasking situation, head in the sand. I feel like that's the energy I was tapping into when I mentioned the person that doesn't even know they're being an ass. If somebody's sticking their head in the sand, it does not mean there isn't chaos, confusion, or something, even something wonderful going on around their butt that's sticking up, So it's somebody that is ignoring something that's right around them, preferring not to see it, not wanting to see the truth of a situation. I always feel like the truth is so much easier, even if it's weird, because at least if you see the truth, then you can, really take a hold of your actions, your reactions, and know what to do that's best for you. Better than, being in the dark, having the wool over your eyes or your head in the sand. So let's get 3 more from this. What are 3 more messages from the mystery deck that would be helpful? Wow. Oh, I didn't even know I had 2 of these. Are you ready to see what this is? This is my mystery deck. So I have probably about 300 cards here. And I didn't even know I did this twice. Apparently this is a message some of you really need to hear. Gonna let you see that. Whose head is in the sand? Maybe you and somebody else both prefer your head in the sand. Maybe there's 2 people that you are observing, or this is really, I would say really a message that needs to come through. I had no idea they were both in there. Head in the sand, head in the sand. Maybe it's 2 different situations. We're going to ask about that one for sure. So I don't even know how many I pulled from this. That just threw me for a loop. Something's going down the drain. Cutting the strings. It looks like there's somebody doing some cleaning up here. Washing something off. Letting the dirt go down the drain. Let's get one more. This is interesting. I'm intrigued today. So let's get one more. And then you're told to grow your garden. Grow your garden. It's like you got the Ace of Pentacles. You have the seeds of potential, but there needs to be some work. There's also something about the work you are putting into someone that you beautifully benefit from. Like when you grow your garden and you get to like eat the beautiful foods that you put energy and effort into, along with the elements, it's not just like satisfaction, it's like true nutrition, there's something about, I'm just thinking of these plants. I just see somebody like outside, a little bit like Snow White. Interesting, because it's snow outside. Snow White would talk to the animals. I see somebody talking to their plants, singing to their plants, like, la la la, beautiful plants, I love you, you're gonna grow today. It's like blessing those plants with, beautiful energy. So interesting. All right, let's figure out how we're gonna do this here. Let me do a little review. Grow your garden. You can grow a cute little garden no matter how small your space is. You can be in the middle of a city and put your garden on the wall. I do keep coming across videos that have to do with like high aquaponics, hydroponics, stuff like that, like different ways to grow a garden. But if you have space to grow a garden, maybe that's something that you are considering. I would also highly recommend, since I get the little soapbox moment here, to be a beekeeper. That is so important. If you are thinking about getting bees, do it. Do it. Words with actions down the drain. Maybe something was plugged up for a while, because now I just see that, I don't know, isn't the aquaponics where they use the fish poop as like nutrients? I don't know, I might be wrong on that, but I think that's where they have like fish, because I kind of see like a pond, but I do feel like there is something being filtered. You don't want a dirty fish tank, but maybe there's something where even, compost kind of situation where something that was just thrown away is actually very useful. I don't know why I see one of those barrels that catches rainwater. That might not be good if you have a lot of chemtrails in your area, though. But maybe somebody's testing that situation. I also feel like I should mention, if you see a lot of weird shit in your sky, it actually does like salt. Salt is really good, like Epsom salt bath, or sweat that shit out. Especially if there's a lot of aluminum, or chromium, strontium, all that bullshit. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm not going to get on a soapbox too long. Clown mask, head in the sand. I think this might have something to do with what I just said. I think a lot of people are waking up to a lot of different things that were right in front of us. And there is some kind of quote like, it's easier to fool somebody to believe something than to convince them that they were fooled. I may have gotten that wrong. I feel like there's something about that. But once you see it, once your eyes are open, let the truth, I wanted to say, like, let the games begin, but I heard truth where game was. So maybe no more games. Oh, hold on. Ooh. As you can see, Rose has jumped off my bed and she was just so loud in my headphones. So I'm going to have to go back a couple of seconds because it sounds like the plowman is outside and I might have to pay him anyway. So I'm just going to take out that little part where she was loud. She actually scared the you-know-what out of me. So I'm going to go outside and make sure everything is going according to plan with the snow situation, but I will be right back and we're going to continue this weird reading. See you in a minute. Never mind. I think he went down to do by the road, so I'm not going to go out yet. So let's continue and go right to the tarot, find a foundational energy, and then let the multitasking begin. So let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What is the main energy to know about today? Oh, you got a big one. You got a big one. You have judgment. Here it's the aeon. I know I say that weird. There is something about transparency. Maybe the value in something ancient. M-A-A-T, is that right? I think that's this figure here, but I don't know why that's making me hear the firmament, the horizon. So now if you look, there's this transparent figure here. It kind of looks innocent. It kind of looks like she's like this, like almost like a little child. There's a lot of Egyptian symbolism in this one. But judgment is when it's big. It's when, the angels are bringing their trumpets down. And it's not really about being judged. It's more about that internal thing. Not being so hard on yourself. Having complete, true awareness of your actions, your words, your inactions, your silence. And with that recognition, having the free will and like desire to change something if you don't like it. Not to sit there and regret or shame. It's to change what you didn't like so that moving into that ending, into the world card, sometimes it's the universe, that you allowed yourself to change, to grow, to evolve, not to stick to the old record that plays over and over and over. Stuck on the carousel. So it is evolution. It is going through the layers. There's something about like time, but not time. I know that makes no sense. But like everything existing at once all together. It's not really like a past life, current life situation. It's more like this blend of it all together. I don't know why with that. I just, one of those weird videos, my nerdy self likes to find all this weird shit, is about the old mirrors. I didn't realize that the old mirrors had a very specific way of being made, and I think it was, is it Venice, Russia, and somewhere else, where it was kind of like, I don't know why I want to say, it was kind of like chartreuse. It's like a secret recipe, where only that family would never write it down, and it was passed along from son, I'd like to say to like the daughter, but I guess it was only to the next son, to the grandson, via, like being an apprentice, word of mouth. They kept it all in the noggin, the formula into what they did, but there is a difference. There was a time, usually, when war breaks out, that there are certain historic things that are conveniently destroyed, raiding the houses and such. So all of the old mirrors were destroyed. I'm going to put the link below if you're curious. There was something about the mirrors being connected to that Tartaria thing, free energy, and when they actually were a signal. It was more about information, and there was something where it could connect maybe at that time to other people that had mirrors or whatever it is, but also through different times. Like there were these weird stories about the one mirror, but they could see the old house it was in, like a couple hundred years prior. And then the mirrors all changed. They became safe mirrors and just kind of like dull, not alive. They didn't have energy. They didn't have the same frequency anymore. Because there was this whole time span in like the 1800s where people had like mirror madness or something, where they would go a little cray-cray because their consciousness was looking at something that was information from the past or whatever, but they couldn't like comprehend all that was happening. And yet, maybe deep down they did. This is also releasing judgment on others. Wow, this is getting weird today. I haven't even put any makeup on yet. Rose, do you want to come up here, babe? You just can't do the barking thing. Go ahead. Go ahead up. Up to you. Come on. I don't know if she wants to go. I'm gonna leave it open. It's up to you. And I hear the plowman outside close again, so hopefully she's not gonna bark. So let's begin me getting ready here a little bit. Even if I only do a little. I don't really wear a lot of makeup. Maybe some of you do makeup, or if I do show you what I use, I am not sponsored by any of these, but I will say this Bare Minerals is pretty much all I put on my skin since maybe like early 30s, and it is, I kind of feel like I was super blessed to find it so young, because I do feel like my skin is pretty healthy. And, I'm 46 now, and I do kind of feel like if I was like, I don't know, some of the makeup tutorials, no judgment here, because makeup is like an art, it's beautiful, it doesn't always have to be a clown mask, but sometimes people really cake on, the heavy foundation that kind of freaks me out a little, so I just go with a little of this. I find that's all I need. I don't know why I'm switching into talking about makeup mode. Some of you guys are guys and you're like, I don't wear makeup. Maybe this is really interesting to you. See how it goes. All right, so let's continue. Wow, this is going to be hard to multitask. I'm going to do my best. So Number 20. With number 20, you have to always look at the numerology of something. So you have the energy of the 2. So that could be a decision. Maybe you're multitasking, because I keep seeing all of these dimensions, but I feel like it's more like connections. Maybe you connect to, I want to say like a certain culture, even if it's really different from your own. I just see hieroglyphics. I know that with hieroglyphics, you look at where the human or the animal is looking at you, and I think that's the beginning of the sentence. Maybe there's something where it's like a language you thought was kind of like, oh, I can never learn hieroglyphics or something like that, but I don't know, maybe there's some kind of connection in your soul where you're gonna kind of get it. Kind of like, you know, some people, you sit in front of a piano or something like that when they're like 3, and you're like, how did you learn to read those notes before you can even write? It's something kind of like that. Maybe some of you have very talented children, or you're looking at a talent you did really young, or maybe right now, and you just pick it up and you're like, wow, I picked that up fast. I kind of felt that way when I started working with metal and jewelry. You know, when I started like, you know, hammering and doing all that with the torch, I was like, oh yeah, my soul's done this before. I just kind of got it. I didn't need to be like really instructed too much. Rose, come on up. I can't do that much multitasking. I'm already doing makeup or reading. I can't do the petting too. So you need to come up or not. It's up to you. And I do hear the plowman getting closer. So let me put on a little more of this. So I don't really put much on anyway. I don't want this to be a crazy long reading, but who knows how it goes here. All right, that's pretty much all I do. We're going to go to the blush next. But I do feel like he's closer now. So I'm going to go pay the plowman. Be right back. We're going to move along to the blush. So, yeah, there's way more snow outside than I thought. It's almost up to my knees. And the guy said it's going to be like 36 inches by tomorrow. Maybe there's something about doing something in like portions, segments, because he was saying if you waited till tomorrow to try to do that, I mean, there's a pile in my yard. It's like that big. Like, I caught a fish that big. No, it's a really big pile of snow. But he said if you waited till tomorrow, I can hear that. Ooh, it's kind of like an ASMR tarot oracle. Get ready, makeup tutorial. I don't even know what's going on with this video today. It's a snow day. Hey, I can get weird. But if he waited till tomorrow, he'd have to have like a big tractor to even move the snow. So sometimes, you know, even if it feels like you have to do extra work with something to go, you know, and do it a couple times, maybe those small segments actually make the job a lot easier than waiting till the end or procrastinating and it's almost impossible, or you have a dilemma on your hand. So, it's so loud. I hope I don't look like a clown at the end of this. We're just going to keep going. All right, so when I was going across my living room floor, I did see that this tea leaf was kind of twinkling a little bit. So I do feel like in order for me to multitask, I should pull a few, look at them while I try to, I guess we'll do some little bit of eyeshadow next. So let's get 3. What are 3 messages from the tea leaf? The whale. Something about the song of the whale. The star. And one more, please. What is one more message? The star is beautiful. That's not just success, it's success that's absolutely 100% guaranteed. It could also be, I see like a success in disguise. Maybe you don't even know how something is going to be successful or the way it's going to turn out, but you're going to feel the energy of that star, that something turned out just as it should, and now you have a heart. So maybe we're going to segue into a little bit of love. So maybe this is about a certain partnership too. Because if you have somebody that is, I have this over both the words with action and the double headeroo in the sand. Great worry over nothing. To, overly project your energy in worry land on something that is out of your control or you can't change, or even procrastinating about all that could happen, what ifs, is a lot of wasted energy. So I feel like, here it says everything is going to work out pretty good. So put your energy into something that feels good for you right now, that you can control. Great worry over nothing, love, deep affection, and caring, and guaranteed success. Where is your heart, calling, pulling you towards? What does your heart say? I am getting with the star, if that's a tarot, that comes after the tower. So maybe there is a emotional situation that is healing, caring. If you are worried about something, it probably does mean you care for a person or situation a lot. Maybe just breathe. I don't know why I looked at that and I saw a really cool shower head. So maybe it's taking a shower. You do have something going down the drain. What did I say I was going to do? Oh, a little bit of something on my, what do I have? Let's put something on my eyes. Oh my goodness. My makeup's a mess. I can't believe I'm doing this in front of you guys here. So maybe we should go to the tarot. Let's go to the tarot and kind of let's ask about the double head in the sand. I'm just going to put a little bit of shading here. I like to go up and I like to do it backwards, I think. I think most people do that way. And I'd like to do my shading like that way. Maybe it's because of the shape of my... I didn't even think about the eyebrows. I don't think I can do that in front of you and talk. I have my father's side's Croatian, almost non-existent blonde eyebrows, so I do fill them in a little bit. I wasn't blessed with the eyebrows that my sister got, but, tis what it is. So this is really hard to talk. Love. Let's ask about love. If you're sticking around, just know I don't normally chop my readings, but I got all tongue-tied with the whole multitasking and doing my other eyeball. So we're gonna start fresh. I am gonna pull a love card. Actually, maybe we'll do a few. So they're in front of me while I do this multitasking situation. I just remembered this one time. I totally went to work and looked in the mirror and I was like, why do I look off? I totally forgot to do mascara on just one eyeball. So I have really fair eyelashes and I look like a different person when I have the mascara on. I don't think that's going to become a look. I've also gone with one earring, so I keep a spare pair of earrings in my car. Although you can rock that as a look, pull the George Michael, I'm totally starting a trend. So let's get from here. I'm actually going to pull them. So 3 cards that help clarify what's going on in Loveland. You have a soulmate, twin flame, soul contract, soul connection. Interesting. I talked about the past lives, but I feel like it's more like parallel lives. You also have commitment, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know, I wanted to say that a little who was that? Pauly Shore? What was that movie? Whatever he did, where I can't remember. He went to the country. One more, please and thank you. And unfinished business. Okay, so as I continue to do my makeup, it does look like maybe some of you have something that is long lasting. Maybe there's been a little pause-a-roo in between seeing somebody. Maybe that caused you a lot of worry. A soulmate is such a beautiful connection, because it's where two people really want to give their heart to one another. It is a soul connection. It is where there's growth that you get to do, supporting each other. But I always feel like it's a little more gentle than like a karmic situation. That should be like, felt, it gets weird, and then it's done, and then you're grateful it's over. This is something that isn't over yet. This could even be unfinished business from somebody that you've had a soul contract with, maybe not even necessarily in this lifetime. You'll still recognize there's something about this person that you are connecting to, and you're meant to do something maybe different than you got to. Another time you and them went through a journey together. It's not over patterns, back and forth, and baggage. We have down the drain and cut the strings. Where's that? Where's your Edward Scissorhands / Lincoln Man? So if something's unfinished, it's meant to be finished or changed, unraveled, or there should be growth. If it's a pattern that is not healthy, then that pattern needs to change with that words and actions. If you've evolved or you have changed and somebody is, like heavy baggage emotionally, or even like just in your life, and it feels like that's holding you back, maybe that's where the strings are cut. Because it looks like you have something pretty beautiful coming in. If you already know that this same situation is what's both beautiful and maybe a little messy, it's time to clean up the mess. Have a conversation. See eye to eye, heart to heart. Clear something up. So we'll ask about that in the tarot. Let me just make sure my eyeballs are doing okay. So how are you guys doing today? I feel like you're kind of just sitting here in the room with me. This is the weirdest reading ever. Okay, so that's what I do there. And I'm going to put a little highlighter here and here. Let's do that with this. I don't even know what this is. It's called Cookie. It's the benefit. So I'm going to just do this. I'll do a little highlighter kind of over here. I don't go crazy with my makeup. I'm kind of simple, but I do appreciate the art of it. Yeah. Well, let's do a little in the corner, right there. A little in that corner, right there. This is the weirdest video ever. And maybe a little eyeliner, but let's clarify first with the tarot. I'm gonna go get a different one. I'll be right back. For the eyeliner, let's ask about this relationship, soulmate, and unfinished business. I heard mind your beeswax, like a kid would say to someone, mind your beeswax. I did say something about bees earlier, right? Maybe it's honey on the wound. Maybe I'm kind of getting maybe even an outside influence, or somebody that I'm trying to give their 2 cents about how they would handle something differently. And if somebody else is not in your specific relationship, people are very, very complicated. I kind of feel, like somebody should not be involved in, 2 people who have something pretty profound here, in what they do. Because I feel like something is happening behind closed doors that is more of an energetic thing, that is a soul to soul. And I feel like there's somebody outside, and their perspective or the way they see it is their own projection, and they're not really in it. So I do feel like maybe that's where doors should close. I don't think it has to be like a snotty 6th grader, like mind your beeswax, but maybe almost gently, but sternly putting somebody in their place. All right, before I move along to I gotta do a little blending here. Before I move along to some eyeliner. Oh, you're going to get to see my blue eyeliner. I don't know why I wear that blue eyeliner. I just love it. Let's do 3 from the Black Rose Tarot. 1 to clarify soulmate. 1 to, that's the 2 of Cups. Of course, this is a soulmate. It definitely is. There's also healing with that Caduceus. All right, let's do 1 to clarify the relationship. Oh my goodness, this reading. All right, you got, if you're still here, you are meant to hear some pretty profound messages right now. You literally have, this is the extra card in the deck. It's the twin flame. I just said, or I just heard say, Book of Mary. The Book of Mary is really important because you have that heart with the thorns, and you have the balance between masculine and feminine. If you don't know much about the Book of Mary, I am getting watch something on it. And then you have double twin flame. Let's see what the unfinished business is. This is between you and a certain person, and it's not about anybody outside of that dynamic, period. No matter what it is, no matter what the label is. Society is, like stamping as it's, I don't know, I'm just getting that label. It's not about the label, it's about the energy. It's about the growth. It's about the healing. It's about the connection. It's about the depth of how you and someone wholeheartedly choose each other. Even if somebody's ego or even outside influences somehow got in the way of a connection, there's something that is so beautiful and deep that it goes beyond time. It doesn't even matter if both of you have moved on, the love hasn't. And if there's true love in that situation, you absolutely, wholeheartedly want the best for the other, even if their free will or their ego chooses separation or even someone else. Don't like downplay or downsize or ignore the validity in the actual love there is between you and a certain person, because you got the 2 of Cups. And apparently this deck has a twin flame. I haven't used this deck in months and months. So ask about what is the unfinished business situation? The Hermit. Yeah, somebody had to turn that inner light on. Move for a little bit in silence. Sit in that cave in the dark until their eyes adjusted and they learned to turn that light switch on. Actually gain wisdom. To see the writing on the wall. There's a pine cone there. To wake up, tap into their third eye or the pineal gland or spiritual energy. That something isn't just physical chemistry. To accept themselves. That was really weird. Maybe somebody felt like they weren't good enough to have something so strong and deep. They always had to live up to societal standards or somebody else's perception on the potential they saw, not the true, natural growth within one's self. The Hermit is a Virgo card. It's 9. It's almost completion. There's all these pine cones, but this little fox, it's also lucky energy. Maybe somebody had to take a rest, come out of the cave, do something solo. But if you have all that wisdom, what good is it if you don't use it, if you don't share it? But if somebody is pushing that wisdom and it's not understood, or somebody is utilizing somebody else's at the bottom, somebody else's wisdom to always do something for them, then sometimes that Hermit is the tough teacher. Let them alone for a little while until they figure it out. If somebody's really scared, where's that over worrying? I just see I see somebody with training wheels. So I think this is just an energy thing, but I see somebody with training wheels, almost like, the parent is holding on to the bike, even though the training wheels are there, but they don't want to let go because maybe those training wheels aren't going to hold. Or, maybe that person's nervous, they can't do it themselves. And then I see somebody letting go, realizing the training wheels are helping, and then I see them just falling off, and they didn't recognize they were like riding that bicycle without the training wheels the whole time. So maybe it's about belief. Maybe it's something that has to happen in stages. I do feel like there's something important on that letting go energy, though. It's letting go. So, I don't know. So somebody learns. The Two of Wands is sometimes a twin flame. It's past that idea, the inspiration, and now you're doing the research. Now you're seeing how the idea could expand. You're, calling and booking the ticket or getting more information about what to do next, making a decision even with another person. It's where, you fuel each other's fire. It does look like somebody's writing a letter, mapping something out, sealing something off with that wax seal. I don't know. X marks the spot. I feel like there's a treasure map here. But even if you have that map, until you're standing in that territory, you can look at that map all you want. But let's say this map has a lot of mountains and stuff. Even if you can see those mountains on there, until you're actually climbing that mountain and you're out of breath and your butt hurts because something is steeper than you thought, you don't really understand the footing of the terrain or the effort or the environment or where you are until you get there. So you have to get past the plans. Dive into the map, redirect yourself if something needs to be, because now I see those old like GPSs where sometimes that old map isn't quite attuned to new territory, if there's new roads and such that have come about. But that's 2 2s. Whew. There's a lot here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this. This is the weirdest video I think I've ever done. I've done some weird videos too. I do want to put on eyeliner if I have it. I do. We'll start with this one, and maybe let's pull. I don't know. Let's do the eyeliner first. I don't even know if you guys want to watch this. I'm going to do it really fast. I'm going to be fast. I'm going to do a little wing, and I do like half of my eyeball, kind of. Right? Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes they're a little crooked. Let's do another one. I'm totally finding out here how hard it is to actually put on makeup and talk at the same time. So I would like to send a big energetic shout out to all the people that do the tutorials and talk and tell stories at the same time. You guys are amazeballs. Because I get a lot of messages from here. Let's see what a place of possibility or potential or prominence, importance is. What is the most important place for you to know about right now? If you are the one, I don't know. I don't. Some of you might have somebody that you have had the most profound changes in your life with, that you would consider the label I don't actually like to use, but I don't think that's your best match. I think that was your spark, your catalyst for change, and that everything changed after you met a certain person, and maybe there's been some space where you gained some wisdom out of that, especially if you were overly projecting on that person. Even if you have unfinished business and you come back together, I still feel like there's something that's coming back together in harmony, but maybe not marriage forever, because I'm looking at these two and they feel more beautiful. It feels like gentle, loving, meant to be. I'm not sure what I'm getting here. This is the weirdest card. Damp and rainy realm. Moisture abounds. Oh my gosh. What? This is the weirdest card. Wet serenity. And drizzly delight. Oh my god, what a weird card. Maybe, I mean, if you were in the cave, then again, the Mushroom Kingdom's the biggest kingdom in the world. I don't know, I could go really dirty with those words, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let you take it there if you want to. Maybe somebody does really turn you on. But what's a drizzly delight? I mean, a cleanse, you do have something going down the drain. I don't know, I'm going to get another one. That one's weird. It kind of looks like, I mean, it looks really pretty. I feel like, all right, this is what I'm getting. I know this is really weird, but I have a book of mushrooms. I should go and just show you the book because it's amazing. There are a lot of these mushrooms that look almost identical to each other, but one is edible and one is actually poisonous. So I think more than what I was getting before about, I think there was maybe somebody in the past that created changes, and I think this person was being mistaken for a twin flame, but it was actually karmic. It was karmic for a reason. You still signed up. You still had that soul connection. It was still rough. You still felt all of those intense emotions. That was not, that wasn't false. It was preparation. Because I feel like there's somebody coming in that is everything. That's why there's no need for a label. And it doesn't take away the validity of the feelings that you had, but it's like the difference between the two mushrooms. One is kind of toxic, not really meant to be eaten, could be poisonous, and there's another one that kind of looks the same, but it's not. I hope that made sense. I feel like I should go and, let me show you this. You do a heartbreak place. We're going to pull another one, but if I stare at a card, I like to look at it at the bottom. Lost love, grief, memories, and heartbreak. I mean, heartbreak is one of probably the worst pains you can ever have. It does really suck. You do have healing with that caduceus from it, strength and freedom out of it. And with that lion, maybe it's a Leo energy, it is not forceful. It's a quiet strength. It's going through something, really hurtful and growing, more profoundly than you ever could have if you didn't feel that pain. And also being in the position where you have the wisdom to recognize when maybe someone unexpected comes in, where the love is undeniable, where it wasn't always back and forth all the time. Everything is in full focus. Words with actions are taken, and there's no need for a label, and it's meeting you equally where you are at that time, whether that's currently or in the future. I just see you not looking back unless you do it with grace and thankfulness. So Let me go get that book. I'll be right back. Weirdest reading in the world. This is already a weird reading anyway. I'm just going to continue to be weird. I'm freezing, so I'm going to put my sweater on. And let's continue. Where are my headphones? I hope they don't squeak. Sometimes they squeak. I'm going to go back here. Squeaking. All right, let's continue. Let's get you another place. I'm going to keep that in the pile. What's another prominent place besides... Oh, I was going to show you the book. I am so scatterbrained today. Where did I put the book? Oh my gosh, that was the point. The point was the book, not the sweater. My gosh. Hold on. What did I do with it? Oh! I'll be right back. I don't even know where I put it. It's under my scarf. Okay, let's try this again. Weirdest reading in the world today. So this book is pretty cool, but it has like life-size mushrooms, you know, where they're from, where they're found, what they look like, you know, what it does. But there's some crazy mushrooms out there. But there are many in here that says be careful because it looks exactly like this other mushroom, except this one you can't eat. Look at that mushroom. What is that? It's called the coral tooth. Maybe mushrooms. The violet potato fungus. There's a violet potato. That's what I feel like today. Violet potato. Oh my. What is this called? It's called the common stinkhorn. I'm just going to show you this because I think that just made my day. That should be... Oh my God, that should be the cover, the thumbnail for this weird reading. No, I might get flagged if I put that up. It's just a mushroom. This is educational. Oh my God, we're getting weird. I like it. Let me just show you some of these. I forgot how cool this book is. Is there another cool one? I don't know, they're all kind of cool. White coral jelly. All right, I'm not gonna do. Oh, this one's cute. Zenker's striped parachute. It looks like a little fairy parachute. It does look like a parachute. Maybe it's an umbrella. All right, let's get you another place of importance, and I'll put my blue eyeliner on. I have no idea how long this reading is even gonna be. You got a restaurant. Maybe you're gonna meet somebody in a restaurant. Open a restaurant, culinary delights, maybe you like to cook, and it's a celebratory dining. That's really nice. Maybe there's something that is worth celebrating, or somebody worth celebrating with. Whether this is, you know, a restaurant you built, or like, I don't know why, I just heard bicycle built for two, or maybe a restaurant built for two. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody's getting like renting out a restaurant? That's really fancy. I actually see that. Like renting out the whole restaurant that you actually would do with a big party, but it's just, ooh, that's very like, that's like, I feel like that's like a proposal situation. Hey, maybe somebody's having that happen. Like, almost like breathtaking. It doesn't even have to be fancy. It could be like a tiny little spot, but I do see it as private. I also see somebody like, I don't know if you live in a city. I see somebody like having a little like makeshift, because I see building one, like a pretend restaurant for somebody, like where they can see the skyline. I mean, that could be on a porch. It's actually very sweet. I see somebody planning something out, almost like, you know, like little kids, you know, making a tent in the living room, having like a little space. Culinary delights, celebratory dining. It's not where it is, it's who it's with. You could also meet somebody at some kind of occasion. All right, let me find, oh, I don't know where it is. I do. All right, let me put the blue eyeliner on. I'd like to put, oh, that's not the right one. It's not the right one. What am I going to do? I should have been more prepared. You can see how messy I am here. Oh, I just realized I have to put some bronzer on too. I'll do that. I just like to put this here. I don't know why I did this once. I don't even think it's meant for under the eye. And I kind of like it. So I do it. This is the weird thing I do. So a little blue eyeliner, and let's do the bronzer since I just thought of it. If I have it. I don't think I do, so maybe not. Am I a mess? This is going to be the weirdest video ever. Oh, he's here. Yeah, I have all these cards here with my makeup. This is... So I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer and do it a little lower than the blush. Let me move my headphone back. Kind of like here. And up here. And here. And up there. And I usually do a little bit here. And a little bit here. And a little bit here. Woo. And then I blend. That's it. Oh, what was that sound? Hopefully that's not too annoying for you. Okie dokie. So, let's continue. But I do have to do the brows. I do not think I can do that and talk. I have to concentrate and make each little hair. So, should I show it to you but in time lapse? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what's going on with this reading. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining me today for this really strange snow day reading. Watching me time lapse put on my eyebrows right now. This was so much multitasking, and no, I don't think this is going to be a regular reading. This was definitely a snow day special occasion, but I do like this time lapse feature. So the times when I sit down and I like to meditate and actually get the cards down to use as a base, I am going to use this time lapse. All right, I just finished the mascara, the eyebrows, and the lipstick with time lapse because the multitasking is a little too much. If you are still here watching this reading, thank you for accepting my weird. I love you so much. So let's summarize all this because there's a lot of cards here. At least I have them organized in front of me now. We're going to go back to the first tarot that we had and ask what the main message, the main growth that you are embracing, recognizing. I feel like it's bigger than accepting. Is here. What is, let's take one card that flips and whatever is at the bottom. What would be at the end here? Maybe you are going to celebrate. That was the last card that came through, right? The restaurant. And you have abundance here, which is celebration, being around people that you love, you have a good time with, that wholeheartedly accept all of your weird bits and your amazing parts. Wisdom, because the bubble glass, or almost like the inside of a pomegranate, takes you back to the high priestess, and you have the king or the prince of wands at the bottom. You have a lot of lion energy, so maybe something with Leo season or August, end of July. Somebody has that in their chart. Look at this person coming in like they are owning, they are creating the fire. That's a pretty powerful chariot. That person's also up there in their birthday suit. But the king or the prince of wands is somebody who's so confident in love, confident in themselves, confident in their support, who or what they believe in, true inspiration. That's the person that gets you to do the thing you never thought you'd have the balls to do, you know. Upside down, we will take a look. It could be somebody who toots their own horn way too much. They show that they're confident, but they feel like they have to prove or be the loudest in the room. It's more of a pushy energy than an, just owning it kind of energy. The Prince of Wands is kind of like the rock star. But it's like the difference between the rock star that's up there and doesn't even need an audience. He's just in that grateful, because it's spirit, it's movement, it's expansion, it's fire. But sometimes the fire is also destruction, but it's someone who does what they do, whatever that is, whether there's nobody in the audience, one person, or a stadium full. It's not somebody who has to project to prove anything. It's more embodied and authentically felt. So the right people gravitate towards this fiery energy, not just because it's the confident, charismatic one, but it's because they recognize that spirit that feels alive in their soul. It's not somebody just going through the motions. It's somebody that you feel energized around. It could be the most quiet, introverted person you've ever met, but there's still something where you feel the heart, you feel the fire. It could be upside down somebody who likes to fuel the fire too, but then there's always something that comes in. That fuel on the fire is only because it's not spiritual fire. It's because they're fueling something, because they're always a little scared that's going to be put out. Abundance is usually a celebration, a gathering, a party, even just hanging out with your bestie, or people that recognize you for you, that accept you for you. Whatever I saw before about the dirty pond or the dirty fountain or the dirty bathtub or the hydroponic, aquaponic stuff that I was going off about, here you got your filter. So you can see through how everything runs so smoothly. How everything works better together when there's harmony. And it's filtering light. And they're all lotuses. So there's something about coming out of a muddy situation, something that was kind of like the muck, the chaos, the dark, I don't know, I just see like the sludge, that's the word I wanted. And this beautiful spiritual flower blossoms out of the most unlikely circumstances. And now that water is pure blue, as above, so below. Reflection on the sky to the earth. The light from within is what creates the filter in the situation. If it's upside down, maybe that's strings you're cutting because that filter never cleaned the tank. That's the mean girls, the frenemies, the people that put other people down because they think that they're light. I don't know, it's more like their shade can dim somebody else's light. And that just makes them seem shadier. It dims their own light. So it could be cutting the strings on that, seeing the truth within someone's eyes and past the clown mask. But I'm getting positive energy with this. But if you have that beautiful light turned on, you do need to come out of the silence or come out of the cave. Look at the next steps you have. Use that wisdom of the owl. Maybe also recognizing when it's time to speak up and to do something in silence. Sometimes silence is more powerful than words. Because the owl flies in silence. There's also something about turning your head all the way almost around to, like you have eyes in the back of your head. Seeing in the dark. And you got a lot of roses here, which is a very high vibrational, it's like the highest vibrational flower. But the lotus is also a beautiful spiritual symbol. So I don't know if I will ever upload this reading. What's that? I do feel like some strong messages came through. but it was so choppy. Hey, if somebody finds this reading too weird, it might just not be their message, or maybe I'm just too weird. Maybe I'm not the right reader. So maybe it's that kind of confidence too. Just, allow somebody to see, you barefaced, messing up, giving something new a go, giving somebody new a chance, seeing where it goes, changing your patterns. I think we're going to end with one of these. This is the words of truth. What is one final word of truth helpful today? Interesting, because I know I said something about a past life, and that maybe it's not about that label. Maybe it's when, the true blinders come off and the eyes are open, the pineal gland is open. It's not about past, present, or that like linear kind of timeline. It's kind of everything all at once. Maybe it's even a past chapter, a new chapter in this life. Let's get you one more. Maybe you're stuck on a certain way that you see someone or something or yourself. It's up to you to get yourself unstuck. Cut the strings. Maybe even see something that was under the surface but come up for air eventually. Maybe somebody else was stuck. That's why there's unfinished business. Where's that? I don't know where it went. Here. Maybe you're helping somebody get their traction. If the wheels were spinning in the tires, or their tires were spinning in the mud, you offer them a towel and help somebody get moving. Do we want one more from here? Why not? We'll just keep going. Maybe you're turning your power back on. Maybe you feel powerless in a situation that's out of your control. Maybe you're taking your power back. Maybe it's pushing your power less to get something or someone moving. Oh, I almost lost them all, but none of them flipped. So let's take out weirdest video. Let's take what was on the ground and look at these and here. Disappointment, abundance, opportunity to release cultural conditioning. And that's a repeating pattern that was taught. It doesn't mean that it was true. The truth's inside of you. So with this, I bid you adieu. Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here today. I don't even know where to look on this camera. I have the front thing on now because there's too much going on with the makeup and the microphone and the lights and the cards. So I appreciate you and I love you so much, and I very much look forward to seeing you soon. I hope you have a beautiful day or night, and I look